This is your CDL 250, 250 seconds or less of everything you missed on day 3 of Major 5. We're going to crack open our juvie and hop right on in. This is the new variation on my CDL recap, which I have done in the past. This will be shorter though, so it should reach more people. Kicking it off with the first series of the day, and we will go in order. We saw NYSL 3-0 Las Vegas Legion and knocked them out of champs contention. Hydra absolutely frying with a plus 25 and a 1.56 on the series. And unfortunately, Clayster, which could have been his last series of his career, we will see if he retires, put up a minus 27 and a 0.58. And then, of course, my series MVP is going to go to Hydra. If you just look at those numbers, you understand why. Then we saw the Florida Mutineers get 3-0'd by the Minnesota Rocker. A pretty balanced performance out of the Rocker team, and honestly, not too bad of a performance out of the Florida Mutineers. I mean, obviously, 0.85 is not what you want to see, but no one really got super crapped on. My series MVP for this series is going to go to Cammy. Put up a plus 70. Went positive in all 3 maps. Not much more you can ask out of him. Then we saw what was our only non-3-0 of the day, and one of our only non-3-0s of the weekend, it seems. We saw Atlanta FaZe take down Toronto Ultra. The home team not really putting up too much of a fight. I mean, if you look at the numbers difference between these teams, you understand what I mean. Both, everyone on FaZe playing great and everyone on Toronto having a lackluster series. One of the really big maps we saw was Abizi actually putting up 39 in the first hardpoint. Absolutely frying. He's been frying all year long. #1 MVP for me currently, but 39 in a hardpoint is pretty crazy. But I'm going to give my series MVP to Celium, a 0.38 plus 23 and the most damage in the series. Overall, dude's a beast. Then the last series we get to see of Florida this year was them getting 3-0'd by the New York Subliners. I want to give a big shout out to Capsule, who absolutely played crazy this event. Obviously, they're getting sent home, but I'm pretty sure Capsule averaged like 64 kills through the first 3 maps so far at this event, which is actually crazy because previously the top guy was like Pred with like 58 through maps 1 through 3. So Capsule putting up 64 at this event, pretty crazy. But another balanced performance out of the Subliners. Obviously, Hydra didn't pop off in this series as we saw in the last one. The whole team playing well, and I'm going to give my MVP to Kismet just because they all played well. Kiz with the plus 8, which is slightly higher, so I'll give my series MVP to him. Not to mention his 35 kills in the Elasila control to close out the series. And our last series of the day, my LA Thieves got 3-0'd by the hometown team Toronto Ultra. One guy on each side seemed to get pretty fried. Obviously, you have Envoy and Hixie both putting up pretty deep negative numbers there, and the rest of the team going positive. But gotta give my series MVP to the main man Scrappy, who put on a show after the event or after the match when he was being interviewed by Miles on stage. If you haven't seen that interview, just head over to Twitter, look up like Scrappy on stage or Scrappy post-game interview. I'm sure you'll find it. Hilarious dude. Sucks that he beat my team, but hilarious guy and a really great player. So with all that being said, these are the final 4 teams we have for today on Sunday. One of these teams will be walking home with the Major 5 championship. If you haven't seen the trophy, it's like a squirrel trophy. It looks pretty cool. I'll put a picture on screen. But right now, I think any of these teams can take it, right? You got Toronto feeding off the crowd. You got FaZe looking super dominant. NYSL and Hydra playing well. And then Rocker making more of an underdog run, looking pretty good. Let me know in the comments who you have taking this. I'm back in Atlanta FaZe, I think. They just look really, really good. And with Slasher playing as good as he is, I think they look pretty unstoppable. And that was your CDL 250. Make sure to drop a like and subscribe for more CDL content. And hopefully, I'll see you all in the next one.